Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight I wanted to talk to you about some beauty gurus that took out PPP loans, who they are, and my thoughts on each of them. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Alright you guys, so as most of you probably know, I do not subscribe to a lot of the larger beauty gurus. Some of them I had at one point in time, but I just found the content to be really disingenuous and just not my style anymore of what I like to consume on YouTube as far as beauty content. If I'm looking for a beauty video, I rely more on makeup artists like Lisa Eldridge, Wayne Goss. Hindash is also another channel that I subscribe to. He is absolutely amazing. So that's just how I consume content as of the last year or so. And with the PPP loans that came out last year, there were many YouTubers who decided to be greedy and take them out even though they don't need them. Well, Dad Challenge podcast decided to share a couple beauty gurus who took them out. So I wanted to look into this a little more. And, you know, obviously Josh doesn't know anything about beauty gurus, and that's not to his fault. It's not, you know, his problem. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about some of the, you know, things that surround these, especially these two beauty gurus, because I find it just as like a confirmation to show how fucking greedy these people are. A lot of people might say, why does it matter? And the reason that it matters is because from a very young age, at least for me, I was taught that you don't take things that you don't need, especially if it's money. So you don't just take money from people that might need it, whether that's stealing or taking advantage of a program like the PPP loans. And obviously I'm not saying that these people weren't raised right. That's just what my experience was. But I do think that it really confirms how they lack compassion to be able to just so easily take money that they definitely don't need. I will say this in every single video on my channel if I need to. When it comes to me sharing information like this, whether it's commentary or reacting to a video or just anything else, use your social media currency where you find it fits, where you feel good spending that 30 minutes or hour or 2 hours with that person every day. If you are okay with supporting someone who takes money that doesn't need it, then that's your journey and that's okay. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do, but I can say for me, I feel much better spending my social media currency on people who are genuine with their audience and they are not out to do whatever it takes to collect an extra $100 at the end of the month. That is just not how I roll. I like to look at people who have a net worth and it was built on their hard work and their merit, not the fact that they took money from small businesses that were literally closing their doors just so that they could get some money from the government. That is disgusting. And by the way, I have my David's tea today, the mango punch. You guys, if I could drink this for the rest of my life and this was the only beverage that I could have, I would be okay with it. The first beauty guru that took a PPP loan that absolutely did not need it is Mr. Jeffree Starfish himself. You know, Jeffree Star, he took out $413,000 for Jeffree Star Cosmetics. It says that he retained 21 jobs, which is a larger amount when you compare it to a lot of the family vloggers. It is better to see 21 jobs instead of 1 or 2 like you've seen with a lot of the family vloggers that took them out. But let's be honest, Jeffree Star, who is constantly bragging about his net worth and all of the nice things that he can buy, he just bought that massive house in California. I think he bought that for $14 million. I'll put the info on the screen just so that I know that it's right. Either way, it's a house that literally 5 families could live in, and it's just him and his dogs, which okay, you know, do what you want. Like, most of the time he can say, okay, well, I did build my own net worth. The problem that I have is something like this comes out where it proves that you will just take money that you don't need. And while I'm all for wealthy people having nice things and, you know, do your thing, like whatever, if you got that money by being a good person and working hard, but then when something like this happens, all of that other shit goes out the window. $413,000 could have gone to several different small businesses that have their doors closed now because they had to close because they weren't able to get the PPP loans. Therefore, they weren't able to stay in business. And now with the second round coming out, they aren't able to apply for that because they no longer have a business, because people like Jeffree Star and the Ace family and Micah Stauffer, all of these people ate up all the funds before Sally Joe, that owns a shoe store down the street, could have gotten her money, and now her shoe store is closed. That is fucked up. And the icing on the cake is that Jeffree Star's merchandise company, Killer Merch, actually took out a PPP loan for almost $650,000. So if you thought that the first part of what I said was bad, add that to it and you have a PPP loan of almost $1 million that Jeffree Star took that he did not need. Oh, and just as a little side note, remember Sam and Nia? I did a video on them a few weeks ago. They faked their pregnancy. They also took out a PPP loan of almost $11,000. And it's just very funny because you go to their channel and they're just try to put on this wholesome personality and everything's great. And, you know, we're teaching our children the Bible and we're just so wholesome. And they're taking money that they don't need just because it was there. All right, you guys, so next up, Casey Holmes. Let's talk about Casey for a second. You know, it seems like anytime I talk about any of these good beauty gurus, everyone wants to cancel me, but I don't really give a damn. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Casey Holmes is someone who I lost interest in over time. I do still subscribe to her main channel, but I have unsubscribed from her second channel because it became very much focused on, you know, her pregnancy and the baby, and that's just not content that I'm interested in. So I unsubscribed from that, stayed subscribed to her main channel because I have followed her since 2014. It's been a long time, and I like Casey. I have seen her personality shift over the last 2 or 3 years, and you know, I'm hanging on. I don't watch all of her videos, but this really, really disappoints me to a really big magnitude. She took out a loan for $25,300. She retained 2 jobs, so most likely it's just her and her husband Davis. And Casey has a brand, the Rosy Days Boutique, and this loan was not taken for Rosy Days. This was taken just for her LLC, which is Casey Holmes Incorporated. I did try to look up her clothing brand, Rosy Days Boutique, and it doesn't look like there was a loan taken out with her store, but it could also just be in a different state. Either way, it doesn't matter. Let's focus on the facts that we have here. So she took out the loan and retained 2 jobs, again, most likely her and her husband. And I know some people might say, oh, well, maybe that $25,000 went to her brand. You guys, these influencers are extremely wealthy, especially when you have someone who has 1 million subscribers. Let me just confirm. Hold up, she has 1.75 million subscribers. Her videos do really well. She has her side business. She does well for herself. I am sorry, but you cannot try to sell me on the fact that she needed $25,000. I don't care what kind of reason comes to the forefront. She's been doing YouTube for a very long time. She has been wealthy for a long time. I remember when she bought her Cadillac and her house in Georgia. She's been doing okay for herself, let's be honest. And it's although I'm disappointed, I am equally as not shocked, just okay, here's another one. I think that it says a lot about the the makeup of someone's character if they're willing to take this money and not even flinch at it. And the other thing that I go back to is it's not like it's some sort of secret that small businesses really needed these loans. So it's not like it was sent out to everyone and here, first come, first serve, here's some money that you can take advantage of. Everyone knew the intention behind it, and everyone knew what was going on in the world and the fact that businesses were struggling and people were closing down businesses that they had open for 20, 50, 75, 100 years in their family, and they were having to close their doors. So it's no secret that other people needed the money, and then you have these greedy ass YouTubers who just swoop in and take these loans. I'm sorry, I cannot forgive that, and I think that it's absolutely deplorable. All right, so next up we have Jaclyn Hill. And Jaclyn Hill, this is a really interesting one for me because her PPP loan was $160,600. And it says 0 jobs retained, unreported. So you just took the money and you didn't retain any jobs, or you didn't give them the information. Like, Jaclyn Hill, you guys, is a fucking dumpster fire in my opinion. I used to follow her back in like 2013, very early on in my YouTube beauty watching days. She's just so fake, so phony. Things have gotten so much worse over the course of time. And then you have Jaclyn Cosmetics, which is a whole other dumpster fire. The launch with the lipsticks, with the hairy lipsticks and pieces of plastic in the lipsticks and all the kinds of things that happen. She is absolutely ridiculous, absolutely greedy. This is one that doesn't disappoint me at all because I've known that she is a greedy little monster for a very long time, and this just confirms it. It's disgusting. The problem is with the lookup, you can use this lookup tool and it's fine, but unless you know the person's, a lot of these YouTubers have LLCs that are not under Desi Perkins Incorporated, Casey Holmes Incorporated. So there are many that could be, Starfish 49 LLC, and you would have no clue that it was attached to Kathleen Lights. Do you know what I mean? So it's very hard to tell. The ones that are obvious will obviously stick out, but I know for a fact that there are tons that we will never know about because those LLCs are tied to a completely off-the-wall name. So it's hard to tell. You know what I mean? So yeah, anyway, super greedy, really gross, and I don't know. Greedy people and liars are just two things that I have such a low tolerance for in life. Liars I have a 0 tolerance for, and greedy people are right there next to them. Another YouTuber that took another beauty guru that took out a PPP loan is Desi Perkins. And you guys, I really like Desi. I feel like finding all of this out, that they're all fucking greedy, is just disappointment after disappointment for me. So she took out a PPP loan of $130,000, retained 6 jobs. So I'm not sure who all she has on her payroll, but that could be anyone. That could be her and Steven and her mom, and I don't know, a few other people that work with her. It doesn't really matter. That's a really big loan size. So anyway, you guys, those are a handful of the beauty gurus that took out PPP loans, and I realized that the argument could be, oh, well, you don't know what they need it for. When you're looking at someone who is financially stable versus someone who is not financially stable, and both of those people have businesses, the person that is not financially stable is always going to need the money before the person that is financially stable. And all of these people have a massive net worth and did not need the PPP loan. That's the bottom line. So that's my thoughts on this. If you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.